in northern Wyoming right now. Not sure exactly what we're doing. I mean, there's 2 targets in my head right now, but I really don't feel like going all the way up to Billings, so I guess 3 targets. But there's some storms forming southwest of Gillette. I'm kind of hoping for maybe a Devil's Tower storm later on here. There's also some attempts at storms near Bighorn. That's probably the best chance for a tornado for us, but it seems like it's just been struggling, so I don't know if we'll initiate a storm by Bighorn, but if we do, that's I think what we want to get on. Went to this steakhouse in Buffalo, Wyoming called the Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. It was awesome. I'm eating my leftovers as we speak. Sirloin, mashed potatoes, and corn. Well, here we are, chat. We are well rested. Got a full night's sleep last night, and I'm excited to see what we can pull out today. Got some storms blowing up here. Off the Bighorn Mountains, a little in front of the Bighorn Mountains, honestly. I would really love to see a storm up north by Bighorn or Story. Just don't know how likely that is. We do have some upper level lift moving into the area, so that could help. There is also storms initiating on kind of like an outflow boundary type thing up here, so we're going to try and target the edge of that. So I think we're going to be heading towards Gillette, Wyoming now, and then eventually over towards Devil's Tower, hopefully, for a nice supercell. We are in a severe thunderstorm watch right now. Let me just make sure the map is working fully, because my custom app is broken. So welcome in, everybody. Hello, Grifter. Hello, Noodles. Dinner was awesome. Canada watching, hope you have a great chase. Man, Jack, I need to get up to Canada to chase. They had some great tornadoes today. I just woke up too late to get up there. I woke up around 10, and it was like an 8-hour drive where the tornadoes were going to happen, so there's no way I was going to make it, but sounds more like a pre-chase meal, yeah. Hello, Bill, how are you doing? Welcome in, Alfonso. Hola. Welcome to the stream. Great day for a storm chase. Let's make sure Bluetooth is off. Everything is rocking and rolling. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. Great Father's Day weekend, despite all of the wackiness going on. Hello, Charles. We are super zoomed in now, but we are heading east to some nice storms, I think. If we do get a storm up by Ranchester, Wyoming, I think that's where we want to go. But for right now, it doesn't look like we've got anything. I don't know how these terrain circulations completely function up here. So, like, it just seems like you always get a storm down by, like, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then up here is kind of hit or miss. Ever in Buffalo, Wyoming, the Bozeman Trail Steakhouse is really good. I have no idea if it's a chain or it's local. I'd assume it's local, but it's really, really good. Only thing is they don't take my Amex card, so I had to use an alternate one. Moisture's about what I expected going into today. Yesterday, moisture ended up being a little low during the chase, so we were trying to plate for tornadoes, and it just wasn't working out for us. So I got a full tank of gas. I do need an oil change probably tomorrow. My hotel book. Leftovers. But I haven't eaten anything yet today, so I was pretty hungry. I probably should have got more to eat because I still am hungry, but in this area before, last year actually, so somewhat familiar, but not the most familiar ever. Definitely in southeastern Wyoming more than anywhere else. I just need to get my water. Please tell me I packed up my water and I didn't just toss it. Yep, I did. I did, chat. Alright. So we're heading on to a couple thunderstorms right now. I'm not quite sure how these are going to behave. We do have an 85 temperature with a 62 dew point up by Gillette, so we could get interesting there. Another place that I am really watching is up by Sheridan, Wyoming. Like, those are kind of my two targets right now. Seems like all that lift is back further west still, so we are getting some storms over here by Gillette, so this is where we're gonna head. Should carve something out nice today, chat. Should get some good structure. Tornadoes a maybe, but you never know at this such high elevation what you're gonna get, so never know, chat. Sky looks promising. Heard there's big rotation in Thomas. I don't know where Thomas is. Excuse me, chat. Thomas. I don't know where Thomas is at, but we're heading east of the Bighorn Mountains right now. Kind of see those storms trying to form up in front of us here. About an hour out from Gillette. They do have a special weather statement out. I don't know what, they don't really have a good radar. They need to really put in a Gillette radar. That'd be perfect. But we do have a couple cells really trying to explode here. Really wish we could get something up by Sheridan, but I don't know that that's going to happen. Like up north, we've got temperature dew point spreads of 12 degrees and of 16 degrees. That is well within tornado range. But further east, it's not quite as good. We got 23. Anything over 20, I start to get a little antsy about tornadoes. Honestly, everything over about 18. But at this elevation, you can get the tornadoes pretty much. You can get lucky tornadoes from almost anything. So we're just gonna get on these guys before they go too messy. Just see what they do. There's fast speed limits out here too, which are really nice. Although it's kind of misleading. The towns are so widely spaced that it feels like you're not making any ground when you're really moving pretty far. So that's how today feels. Thank you, Claudia. We will do our best to stay safe. Yeah, the views are gorgeous and wide open out here. I really liked Montana. I went there yesterday, slept there last night, and you know, it was just absolutely gorgeous. Northern Wyoming is pretty too. Honestly, everywhere in both those states is just incredible. Just had a big bolt in front of us. Did you guys see that or not? We'll have to wipe off that windshield when we get up here, install that 360 camera. Got some good footage on the 360 camera from yesterday's chase. I'm excited to pull up that 360 footage, chat. This stuff's a game changer. Yes, saw it. Sweet. All right, I wasn't sure. Hey, Claudia, we will do our best to stay safe. Yeah, it's wide open out here. I really like Montana. Yep. So we're just gonna keep sliding on east, guys. I mean, we're gonna get pretty storms out here. It's just a given. If your storm gets at least any sort of base, it's just going to be pretty. That's just how Wyoming, Montana, and all the high plains work. I really wish that we would get a storm off the Bighorn Mountains, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Does not seem like we're going to get so lucky, but you know, it is what it is. Last time I had a storm on the Bighorn Mountains, I saw a tornado. So, well, it was still on the Bighorn Mountains when it produced the tornado. So I had like a tornado in the mountains, viewed from the plains. Actually, back on June 9th, a little over a year ago. But I love chasing. I'm hoping we get a really pretty Devil's Tower storm. That's kind of my goal for today. It seems like we might get something, especially out by Gillette. I think that lead storm is going to be what we're on. It seems like these storms are initiating on outflow from storms earlier in the day, further south. So they do appear to be stronger than what the models were showing, which generally is how it goes. The models are usually just, I don't know, I don't like using the models, especially in June. April they're pretty good, but June they're absolutely horrendous. So you never know what's going to happen in June. It's just so much more complicated than April for forecasting and chasing and all that stuff. The setups in June tend to be a little more last minute before they look really good, whereas April you tend to have like a couple days lead time. So we've got some nice high base thunderstorms blowing up here. Great day to be out feeling way more, you know, rested after getting a good night's sleep last night. Let us actually show you guys out that window here. Let's make sure we're using the right microphone. We are not. Switching to this mic. Took that mount off there, chat, my bad. But you can see we've got some great texture already. I think this is a sign of what's to come as our storms mature here. Only thing that I don't like is these bases do seem to be on the north side, but that does happen when you're on the north side of outflow. So if we can get a storm with the base on the south side interacting with the outflow, that would be a little bit more ideal. A little more ideal, but it is very pretty out here, guys. Contrast between the landscape and the sky is stunning. Yeah, it is so pretty out here. out there in the middle of a field with a camping chair. Yeah, dude, you can do that out here. I mean, these storms are not fast movers. They're just drifting along here. Just drifting along. They're not screaming east. They're just kind of gently rolling over the prairie. So just very pretty out here, guys. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Yolande from the Netherlands. Welcome back, Sunflower. Welcome back, Marianne. How are you all doing? Hopefully everybody is having a great Father's Day weekend once again. Just a great weekend in general. So we do have, yeah, it does seem like our storms are forming on this little boundary here. If I show you guys, you can see there's kind of a line of clouds where our storms are initiating, but that's okay. We should still be able to churn. I mean, we've already got some absolutely photogenic storms, and we're barely into the chase at all. So I'm kind of curious to see. I really want to get a storm out by Devil's Tower today. I think that's the goal. Unless something tries to go up north of Sheridan. If something goes up north of Sheridan, we're U-turning and going up there, because that's where the moisture's really good. That's where the moisture is just perfect for a tornado, as long as this outflow doesn't interact with it, which is now becoming another concern. But either way, I think we're going to target that lead Gillette storm and just see what it does. So we get another open viewing off to the right, I will show you guys those storms again. But we're heading out to Gillette. Heading out to Gillette. Man, I really wish we could have got a storm up north of Sheridan before this boundary. I think it's going to be too close to the boundary now. Do they have Meso 2 out here, or Meso 1 or something? They do. Yep, there go our clouds. So we're basically going to be dealing with this storm here. Seems like that outflow does not extend super far east, but look at that, almost a little curl there, a little occlusion. You guys see that little curl just on the right there? I promise I'll show you guys this. But we do have an attempt at something trying to spin right here. You guys see that? The way that's kind of curling. And we've also got whatever that is down there. I think that's just a rain shaft, but try and fix that focus for you, chat. We do have that guy right there. It's what you normally see before or during a land spout type tornado. Even like a little supercell occlusion possible, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Can't see it rotating from here, so it's not very strong, but there is a little curl at the very least. At the very least, there's some type of curl going on. That would be an unbelievably tall tornado, but out here in the high plains they do happen, so we do kind of have to respect the area a little bit. Look at just this terrain, man. It's just so pretty out here. We've had like 3 of the last 4 chases have just been through absolutely gorgeous terrain, where it just feels weird, like you're not normally chasing out here. You guys can see that little curl there. Kind of a textbook high base supercell that's trying to produce a tornado look, or even a land spout look. Feels a little unbelievable to be out in this terrain. But next service is 37 miles. It's a good thing we ate and got gas back there in Buffalo, Wyoming. Also, this is a random tangent, but I absolutely love the Wyoming state flag. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Ears popping coming down here. Gotta charge the phone. 360 camera is fully charged, so as soon as we stop, we will get that. Doing okay. Trying to behave. Don't my dad get down to me misbehaving. Yeah, I get that, Marianne. Sorry to hear about your father. And you as well, Noodles. My adopted aunt. I'm sorry to hear that, Marianne. I'm sorry to hear that. Look at this, guys. We got a little storm blowing up here. Things are getting photogenic in a hurry. It looks like we do have a supercell back behind here. A little curious. So we got this little updraft column in front of us. Got this little updraft column. Super crazy out here, chat. They did issue a special weather statement. It does appear that those storms are blowing up, especially to the north, so that's probably going to kill these things. We've basically, I think we might just want to be on the easternmost storm on the outflow. But that's one thing we're going to run into. I love outflow boundaries when our storms are on the southern side of them, but to the north you kind of get some weird stuff going on. So look at this, chat. We have another curl right above us here. Two of them almost. Little swirls here, little swirls there. That guy back over there. All these bases on the north side are probably not good for tornadoes, but they do look very pretty. So we're just gonna get to that Gillette storm, that furthest east one. If we really do look like we're gonna get a storm north of Bighorn, that's what we want, but I'm just not sold on it. Just not sold that we're gonna get a storm in that area, but which is unfortunate because it's definitely the best. It's definitely the best ingredients. These storms are exploding here. Hoping to get a nice storm moving into Devil's Tower here in about 3 hours, right around that sunset time. I see something on the ground there. I can't tell if it's scud or not. See something low on the ground on that furthest east base. Don't know, I think it's just scud. Can't quite see that, but really hoping that we can split off a right moving supercell with this. Just doesn't seem like we're going to be able to. But there is those storms back up in Montana, but I really don't want to drive back up to Montana. Like from here to Billings is like a 2.5 hour drive. It doesn't feel like it should be so far, but it is. So we're just going to take what we've got down here. It's a buffalo. That would be a far-ranged buffalo. So I'm hoping we can get something there on the eastern edge of this cold air. I don't know if that's going to happen though. But if it does, we'll get something really pretty. Yeah, it's just scud underneath. Every once in a while you'll get lucky and get a tornado on the leading edge of outflow like this, but I don't think today is going to be that day. We do want to go up towards the Devil's Tower area just in case. Do have a special weather statement out. Hopefully we can get a right moving storm, a supercell that spins the classic way here in the northern hemisphere. But I just don't know that we will be so lucky today. I'm trying to be a little optimistic but cautious. I do think we could get some pretty storms, but it's going to heavily depend on how our storms do evolve. Another big bolt right there, chat. Let's see if we can't squeeze out a nice right-moving supercell, please. Does seem like very, very favoring these left-moving storms here. I would love to see something blow up north, but it looks like we're losing clouds up there. These things are really racing up north. Southeast right now. Look at that little curl though, chat. There's some rotation up there. You guys see that? See that curl up on the top? There is some rotation there. It's not strong, but it's there. See that little curl? Curl right there, guys. That would be a very strange way to get a tornado, but I guess I'll take it. You guys can see that rotating, hopefully. I can see it rotating. It's spinning pretty hard. Spinning clockwise, though, it seems. No, it's spinning counterclockwise. Almost above us now. We have a weak little funnel cloud trying to get going, chat. Hold on, we're turning away from it. Can't tell what it's doing. don't want to drive 3 hours back into Montana for those other storms. So I think we're going to take what we've got down here and hope we can maybe squeeze something out of it and get lucky. It does appear that these are all just left moving, which means they're going to move much quicker in annoying directions. Storm's weakening as well, so we're just gonna hope to get some structure. Hopefully we can get some storms further east. If these are left movers, they're gonna move more to the north than we normally see. We're almost to Gillette right now, guys. Very pretty little high base swirl there. Easy. Welcome back, Blondie. Thank you for joining. Let's get around this guy. All right, we do have a little bit of a left moving storm here. It's still going to probably be photogenic. Just wish we had a supercell that spun the correct way. Although today it might not matter as much because that moisture is good to the north. But that outflow is sure pushing storms pretty fast. But this, you guys can see this cell in front of us here. That's the one I'm really interested in right now. Is this guy in front of us. That will be a very photogenic storm if it hangs on. I'd love to get to the other side here. It's not got a ton of rain with it. In that heaviest precip for these other storms. Very. Oh, here we go. That came out of nowhere. There's hail. We got penny, not even like dime-sized hail falling. Little funnel over there. have anything else left to initiate out east, do we? We've got that supercell on the leading end, and then that's going to be it looks like. Southerly winds from the outflow should really hurt left-moving storms. It is only 6 o'clock here. Really would love to get something up by Sundance. This has got to be that right mover, right? Or at least what's left of it. $65 under here, so about 10 degrees cool, but it's not crazy. Get off here at this Gillette exit and then go north. I mean, really wish these things would get out further east, but they're just not. It does seem like we might have a supercell trying to form the correct way on the eastern flank. But we are getting a lot of rain down south of it, so I don't know if that's really what it's doing. It could just be a left mover with the bases on the north side. on radar, it looks a little bit more like an actual supercell, a right-moving supercell, but in person, there's some question marks. If this thing can mature as a right-moving supercell, we're very excited. If it is a left mover, we might be cooked. So it really depends on what this thing actually is. My auto steer thing just tried to take me into the left lane. I'm going to turn that off. We have a nasty little shear funnel. This thing is truly a right mover. We're very excited, but I'm not quite sure, Chad. It could be either one. The precip to the south, I think, is from that other storm, but I'm not quite sure. Thing's dying. This eastern cell. It's what we need to live, though, guys. We need the storm to live. I do think it is a left mover. Left movers are weird because the best place to watch them is from the north. And those Montana storms, especially that one northwest of Billings, has significantly weakened. So this is literally all we've got. Unless we want to dive super far south down the Casper, which we can do. I've decided we're gonna go northeast and get north of it. Betting this is another left moving storm. this exit here at Gillette, we're gonna go north. Hopefully we can get a good view of it, but I think it is dying. Really just want us to have a storm at sunset near Devil's Tower. That's what I want today. But with every passing minute, it looks a little bit less likely that we're gonna get that. It's been first time back in Gillette in over a year. No, right at a year. Right at a year. It is going to be tough to go on this road, isn't it? Truck go, and then that way we can go. Perfect. Yeah, this guy's got to be. Oh my God, it also appears to be weakening very rapidly, which is even more unfortunate than it being a left mover. Do have a special weather statement out for it. Very interesting look, because on radar it appears to be a right mover, but in person it is most certainly a left mover. So we're going to get north of Gillette here. I don't think I've been down this way. This 14, US Highway 14. Just really want to get a nice storm off this for later on, because I mean, we could go down to more towards like the Casper or Douglas, Wyoming areas. There are storms going on down there, Chad, but I really think the one we want to be on is this one up here if it can get going, because I've yet to see a good storm at Devil's Tower. So they do happen, but they're rare. But this week was billed to be tornadoes everywhere, and it's really only been up in Canada. Appears to be a nice supercell in Oklahoma, of course. Oklahoma only seems to work when there's like almost nobody watching, and then every other day except for Arnett, it's just not good. It's that storm in front of us. It's looking a little rough, guys. Looking a little rough. Just want it to survive. Or give us a new storm out in front. I mean, either one, I don't care. The closer we can get something to Devil's Tower, but it's just looking more and more unlikely as time goes on here. So we have this storm in front of us. Little funnel, another one. And I just wish we could get something to survive up here. 70 right here. So like if this thing can latch on, if this thing moves far enough east away from the influence of that outflow, we're good, but it continues to look weaker and weaker. Both in person and on radar, although in person is definitely more important. Left movers down south, or what's going on down south? Very pulse-like storms down south. It's gonna take a miracle, chat. If there were cumulus clouds forming off east, there are some to the north, but they don't look too hot. Excuse me. The only severe storm is now where we were yesterday, north of Roundup. We look very ragged on this storm. Northeast Wyoming Regional Airport. Yep, I think we might be toast already. Really wish we would have got that storm further north. What can we even get to? Get to that stuff down north of Douglas. Seems like the strongest echo tops are now back west from the storm over there instead of this guy. Which makes sense. Might just stay on this road and go way up north. I guess it wouldn't take us because it does loop back. Can't believe we're chasing left splits in June. Gotta be at least somewhat desperate. Part of me wants to go northeast, part of me just wants to go north. West. I think we'll go northwest. This stuff dying over here, so it's going to be that western stuff that really takes over. Somehow my car can't see. Yeah, we'll keep going northwest here. Keep going northwest. It appears that we're going to get a storm back east. We'll go that way, but I want to go up this road. Whoa! Big bolt in front of us. I've been burned by Wyoming so many times. I just sit at the Colorado-Wyoming line. Yeah, that's where it seems to be like the best stuff is, but Wyoming has a very high tornado chance for me, especially if I target Chugwater area. If I target Chugwater, there's like a 60% chance I'll see a tornado later that day, which is kind of crazy, but it's pretty high out there. It's gonna die off in a few hours, reform an SD. I don't even know. I think that this stuff's all just going to be not super interesting. It's going to be pretty, but like you're not going to get a tornado from this. It's going to be tough to stay on, and you're not going to get structure because it's going to be tough to stay on. I think that Montana stuff is weakening, especially to the south. I like how the tornado warning is Colorado, though. Legitimately awesome. This guy's going slow. I feel like I get burned all the time if I'm anywhere around the Black Hills, and I would consider Gillette close enough to the Black Hills, but it just seems like every time I target this area, I just get cooked. Yeah, tornado warning north of Fort Morgan. Always north of Fort Morgan. Yeah, I don't know why I've come up to Montana and Wyoming when everything's been happening in Colorado. They did issue a severe thunderstorm watch for up north, so it is possible. What was that, a 40 watch up north, and they still went ahead and issued it? Just want to see what these things look like from the north. That's going to be the best way to let our bolt close to us. Definitely looking at a left mover or a left mover, or kind of more of a QLCS type storm here. But we're gonna get north. Seems like it is trying to become a supercell, at least in some capacity. I like how today's real target was Canada, honestly. Gonna have to watch Canada tomorrow. We might have to get up early if it looks good. I got everything I need to go up, so. some nice hail every now and then. But yeah, once I woke up at like 10:30, I was like, I looked and I was like, okay, it's gonna be near Saskatoon. Sure enough. Sure enough, that's what happened. A couple nice tornadoes up there. Nothing I'm too upset about missing, but gonna try to get up here. I just don't know that we're gonna get a storm further east, and that's what we would really want. Like, you'd want something like 81 over 61 north of Sundance. Like, if you get a storm over there, that's a great environment, but I just don't think you're gonna get one, unfortunately. It's like super high base, so Alright, chat, sorry about that. Allegedly, there's a way I can get through. I'm gonna use allegedly whatever comes off the mountains here, and then just might have to hightail it up to Canada, depending how it looks. I think it's very funny that Colorado's got the tornado warning storm. Literally, the county I live in Weld County, Colorado, so the tornado warning's all the way down there. Just seems to be how it's going with these northern plains days. They're just a little light on the moisture still somehow. I mean, if we had higher dew points, I think we'd be fine. I think the problem today was definitely that those storms formed south in really low moisture air, and then they put out a bunch of cold air. That storm there's a storm riding the boundary near Raymer right now. Get ahead a couple miles here and we'll flip back. Not used to getting north of a storm to look south for a view. Southwest of Grass Range. Grass Range is like 4 hours away. Forecasting here. So we are on a bunch of left splits, so not exactly geniuses today, chat. Really pretty out here. I think we're going to turn off on the next road. Like this area only works when nobody's hyped about it. Kind of like Faith, South Dakota. I wish we were going to get storms further east, but seem like we're going to be so lucky. looking too hot, guys. I mean, nothing's really got structure. I want to try and find a plan B. That is a private road, so I'm not going to get on that. Looks like another updraft trying to initiate to the northeast. Dues up in Canada. I guess maybe mid 50s, more like mid 50s. Already trying to look at where we go for tomorrow. Tomorrow initiates more supercells up in Montana. A couple storms in southern Saskatchewan. Some good moisture allegedly by Scottsbluff tomorrow. I'll have to look at that. If you're getting quite a 60 dew point up in Scottsbluff tomorrow. Maybe some convergence by Sydney, Montana. Looks interesting according to the 18Z HRRR. According to the models, this entire week looked a little bit better than what's happened. Should be getting that 0Z stuff coming in shortly. Fallen cloud reported in Weld County. Looking stable as heck, chat. I mean, these are bases on the north side. It does look like there is some cumulus trying to form to our east. It's a little rough though. This week has been tough. We should have been in Canada yesterday and today. Yeah, tomorrow it's just, there's such a, that's the one tough part about June, is that there's so many different areas where stuff can actually happen. I actually don't like tomorrow much. Storms seem like they're going to be forming way west of all that moisture, except like, again, that you know it's a rough chase when you're already looking at tomorrow. Maybe way up in northern Montana, according to this model. And your SCOBY. It might be, if we do get storms up there, that's probably where you'd want to go. There is another 60 dew point air mass out by Scottsbluff. Big Cape Day, definitely. If you get storms out by Scottsbluff. Yeah, like, just such a wide area. How far is... Yeah, because if you get stuff up by SCOBY, that's not bad terrain. Tomorrow around 3 p.m. Let's see, we have to leave the hotel. 20Z. Around 6 a.m. just to be safe. Do you have some nice structure? Yep, doing good. Thank you. We do have some interesting stuff going on here, but yeah, I don't know. Do we take a shot? Environment Canada is outlining that stuff in southern Saskatchewan. Might cancel my hotel in Buffalo and go north just to hedge for that. But the thing is like from Buffalo, I could realistically get into Canada if I wake up early, and then if I do decide Scottsbluff instead. We've just got a big time outflow problem today. What about Monday? I think what we're going to try and do is maybe play around with the idea of going to Canada or northern Montana tomorrow. I mean, it's very low risk, I think, because I don't think Wyoming's going to be good tomorrow based on what the moisture plots are looking like. Couple models have had that moisture plume in central to into northern Montana. If that does happen, it does seem maybe a little bit more favorable up there. Now the NAM though does not like that target at all. Do have 56 dew points up there. Pretty dry according to the NAM. Just have had constant days of moisture, but no, the storms are just kind of away from where the moisture is. So yeah, this model says like Malta maybe. Again, dew point problem up there. I'm also just not too familiar with chasing this area, so this one's not quite as bad. 1400 LCLs. Those 0Z ones should get a better handle on what that moisture is going to look like. Literally, this model has a repeat of what happened today happening tomorrow in Wyoming. Models are just so diverged in terms of where the moisture is going to be. ECMF. Do I just get crazy and just try and hightail it into Canada? I don't know. I love how the best storm in the United States today is in Oklahoma. Why does that always seem to happen? Just a random outflow boundary day, then it looks super nice down there. Yeah, shelf clouds do not have the same kick from the north that they do from the east. Got this little lowering right there. Yeah, so do we trust the Billion Cape near Scottsbluff, Nebraska again tomorrow? Or do we try for Canada / northern Montana / central Montana? Yeah, Environment Canada does peg a little area there in southern Saskatchewan for moderate risk, which is low for them. It's below, they've got a 4-tier one. They've got minor, moderate, high, extreme, and they've got a moderate out there. Mostly for damaging winds, large hail, and rain. It is pretty though. I'm gonna grab a couple shots here, chat, as this thing passes over us. I did bring my camera in, right? I did a time lapse earlier and I got scared. Not great, but not terrible, I guess. Really don't want to miss something in Canada, though. They got 57s there. Got moisture maybe coming in from the south. There is a low up there. I think we might go south. Tornado warning in that Oklahoma storm, with more storms forming out to the south. We have a severe thunderstorm here. Take you guys, show you what's happening to the east of us here. definitely pretty. See if it can get a little prettier. I still haven't completely decided what we're doing tomorrow yet, so because there's like, there could be a Scottsbluff target, there could be a Montana target. Here and then just see how this all goes, Chad. I mean, I think we're already cooked. Our hopes of a Devil's Tower storm have been dashed. My map says I do have a road that will take me, like, I don't even know if I believe that, but apparently there is a road. Road. I think we'll try that. Just stay on these storms because I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do. Like, Canada is super far north. Although the following day is like finally like over the Dakotas. Setups are breaking my brain. They're so complicated. I do like that we went from like super simple, easy stuff to like super annoying, hard stuff with like no transition. We went from the most obvious days ever to just insane complexity. Check chat here. Sorry guys, I've not done a good job about looking at chat. But I trust Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, nowhere else, only 2 places for roads and storms. I trust Wyoming, southeastern Wyoming. I really trust. I trust western Nebraska and the Texas Panhandle. Those are the places I trust the most. But up here, I just seem to get, Northern Plains have not been kind to me this year. Last year they were good. Wasn't up there much in 23 or 22. 21 they were good to me. But yeah, I'm just not quite sure exactly where we're gonna end up tomorrow. Like legitimately, we could end up, there's like a whole 12-hour thing between targets. You know, there's, I really like that Canada target in terms of just, you know, storms and stuff up there, but I don't know, there's the big Cape target too. Gotta figure that out. Hello Justin. Hello Kind Bluey, how are you doing? Call this a storm? Yeah, this is, I don't know if this is a storm. Welcome back, Christopher. Canada, the Dakotas sound like a plan. Yeah, I like that play. I'm really trying to get some Northern Plains tornadoes. I just haven't had many. So, just wish I would get a little bit luckier with evolution. But like, it's very funny that like the storms of the day are going to be in Oklahoma and then in like Saskatchewan. So, like we were playing Montana, Wyoming, and I was hoping for a storm to form off the Bighorn Mountains within the better dews. But we didn't get very lucky because we had that outflow surge north and nothing really ever even formed up there. So apparently there's a road that will take me to that highway. I kind of want to see if it's legit or not. I mean, the roads out here are a little sketchier, but it seems like it will, based on all the different maps I have. It tells me that I can get through up there, so that's what we're gonna try. Wish these things were a county further east, so that way we could be by Devil's Tower, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But these things are definitely intensifying to our south, so at least we've got something interesting to watch. It's definitely not going to be a tornado producer, but you know, damaging straight line winds and some small hail, calling cards of storms like these. I'll have to wipe down that windshield. I keep getting bug splats. I'm already out of wiper fluid and I just filled it up like 3 days ago. It's getting pretty though, chat, behind us. Here near Recluse, Wyoming. About to take some random road here that we've never been to. Hopefully it works out well. Severe thunderstorms up where we were yesterday, south of Grass Range, Montana. Tornado warned storm on I-40 in Oklahoma near Weatherford. Severe thunderstorm near north of Fort Morgan, kind of riding that boundary. And I think it's just zippering down the boundary, isn't it? Funnel cloud reported 629. What else? I don't know what's going on with my phone. It keeps not loading anything. Tornado reported 643. Nice job, Patrick. We have some pretty gorgeous terrain up here. I cannot lie to you guys. A lot of these are private roads, though, so we do have to be somewhat careful. And I did just find some horses. I would love to get a horse plus storm shot. Maybe we turn back here at this little gate. Definitely not the worst thing ever, guys. I want to get these horses with the storm. Very high base little shelf here, rolling through. This grass is pretty tall though. The Newton Ranch. I don't think this is going to be a great shot because we're going to be above the horses, so never mind, I changed my mind. We'll go to this thing and turn around up here, but it is very pretty. Thing we've stayed on it here, I guess. Wish there weren't so many just random power lines here, but it is very pretty. We'll UE and keep going north. Here's these horses again. What's up, guys? Just don't like all the power lines on the hill behind them, and I really don't feel like editing power lines out of photos. I gotta send Maddie a video of the stuff we saw out by Big Bend National Park. get somewhere a little more open. Apparently we can go northeast here. I'm gonna go slow in town though. Maybe a little nice house or something that we can use for composition. Maybe we're just unlucky. Oh, it's 15 speed limit. Some oil stuff up here. I'm not used to chasing areas like this. Who's behind me? There's somebody behind me. Wish we didn't have. The power lines are on the one side of the road that's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, they're just on the one side of the road I don't want them to be on. Why is that always how power lines are? You either get them on both sides of the road or the one side of the road you don't want them to be on. Hopefully they die down up here. Here in northern Wyoming, as the stuff continues to surge. I guess this little oil thing back here wouldn't be so bad. There's cows. Why is there always cows too? So you finally find something, and then there's always a little thing making it not perfect. So this guy's private drive. So. Nice little shelf cloud here. Nice little shelf. I'm gonna get out and wipe that windshield down. I'll be right back. Glass cleaner at? Can't find my glass cleaner anywhere, guys. What? Where'd it go? Where did it go? Seriously, what? I can't find it anywhere. Shelf rolling in. I want to get to a better spot. Like, I want a nice field with a good composition, but I'm struggling to get that right now. I'm struggling to get that. And for some reason I have developed the hiccups. hate that Oklahoma will always just randomly have the best target on a day where they're like, nobody's there. Which is so annoying. Everybody's way up north, and then Oklahoma decides it's time to put on a structure show. Why is that how Oklahoma functions? Texas did it to me last year too with the Silverton Day. But just gotta be on the lookout for those random Oklahoma days, I guess. But there's no way we're gonna make that make it down there from Montana. We already had zero sleep as it was. Oh well. This June has been kicking my butt for the most part. We had the Dalhart tornado, but other than that, I have been getting cooked. Forecasted Kim and missed it, and then I picked the wrong target on the Morton Day. Again, there's nothing quite right. Up here. Picked the wrong thing on the Morton Day, and then we just missed a text line tornado. Seems like I've been picking north way too often this year when it's really south, but this time of year, if you start to really bias too far south, I mean, half the time you don't even get a storm down there, so cool little road here. Livestock at large. I love the like at large sign instead of like, you know, why are there so many power lines out here? I mean, I guess it's all oil. I want to try and find something that isn't just like a shelf cloud over a field. Like, I got a lot of that this year. See if we can't head up 59. I still got to really mull over what to do. I want to see the 0Z model suite. Oh, that Oklahoma storm's gorgeous. I can get through this, so. And then hit 59. This way. All right, well, maybe we'll crest this little hill up here and turn back for some shots. I guess I'll take a hill on a nice road. There's definitely not going to be any buildings or anything up here, guys, so we're just going to have to take what we get, I guess. Power lines return over there, so I think we're just going to go ahead and like most of the meat of the shelf is like, I mean, it's really high based, so that's one problem. At least we have a storm, I guess. Up the 360 cam because I forgot to put it in the storm. Like a little supercell, left moving supercell developing on this side here. The base is a little wider and that shelf is a little strange. I'm gonna keep going, I think, though. Where's my wallet at? Get some good shots of this storm to the south. Not used to facing backwards. Severe thunderstorm warning on New Mexico as well for a tiny little storm out by text line. Look at this, chat. We're about to get really pretty. We're gonna need the terrain to make the shots of this storm because it's kind of an average storm. So, tornado warning extended for Hobbs, or excuse me, for Hydro, Oklahoma. Want to see what we can find over here. Apparently this road will connect back up to the main highway, and even if not, this road will be fine. In the rain, so I don't care too much about it. I need to get that mount back up, but I'll have to grab it. Fell on my ground. Something here, maybe. So maybe a little more on top of this hill, I guess. About 10 miles from 59. We'll come around this turn here, and you guys should get a nice view. And we are definitely getting towards really pretty terrain. So I kind of want to grab a couple shots just in case we can't see anything. But we do have a really nice storm here, guys. Almost like this guy is pulling an inflow, like a little left moving supercell right here. Maybe that base off to the left. Parking here and grabbing a couple shots. Gonna head into this little pretty area here. I wonder what happens if I take you guys to ultra. Smell. Why is it so blue? What the heck? All right, that's a little better. All right, I'm gonna go grab a couple more shots. down this road because I don't want to get stuck here in the rain just in case this road is closed. I mean, it's probably fine, but I also think there's some pretty shots we can get down here. I have you guys on ultra wide right now. We got this thing's pulling in a little bit of inflow here, so it's maybe trying to become a supercell type thing. Do like how there's now a storm down by Casey, Wyoming. A couple cells heading north South Dakota. This is going to give us some good shots here now that we're getting into this type of terrain a little more here with these more rolling hills, some pine trees and stuff every now and then. Somewhere we can pull it off up here. I don't know why it comes off so green. I'm going to grab you and show you guys what we're looking at before we have to move here. So we're gonna head east here pretty shortly, guys. Kind of got only a couple chasers here, so keep rolling. Keep it rolling. Got this terrain we're moving into now. Wish I could get on a quality supercell though, but I don't think there's gonna be one tonight. Oh, I'm at the point in the season, chat, where tornadoes are like the only thing, and just top tier structure, like the only two things doing it for me. We're up here on this severe warning storm in northern Wyoming. I think what we're gonna do, really considering taking that northern Montana target tomorrow if that does pan out. Maybe southern Canada, somewhere in there. Environment Canada does have a moderate risk out, which is basically, I would say they're equivalent to a slight risk. Got another chaser up here. It is. A chaser and an oil field worker. We've got chasers. Sorry, you guys can see my hail cracks steadily growing over time. Starting to get a little bit of precip out here. A little bit of high base rotation. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Seems like the best environment the past 2 days has not initiated a storm in Montana and Wyoming. That's when it just feels like they form in way too low moisture, and then they go outflow dominant before they hit the good moisture. Crest this hill and stop. Just having a tough time finding places to pull out and show you guys what's happening. It's pretty on both sides though. Not bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say it's the greatest thing I've seen this week, but pretty nice. Highly funny that the best two storms of the day were like Saskatoon and like west of Oklahoma City. Chat, we're balling though. Got a pretty storm here. Welcome back, Clint. Actually, I don't know that I've seen you before. Welcome in, Clint. Big Bend National Park, one of the best in the world. Yeah. Gotta clean your windshield. Yeah, I have Rain-X wipers, but I found that Rain-X wears off too quickly and I gotta put it on too much. So I do use their windshield wiper fluid, but I don't apply it normally because I have to apply it every day. And a lot of the windshield stuff's on the interior. I just need a better cloth. We do have some very pretty structure here. North of that severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, never mind, they did extend it for us. Hopefully we can get some really pretty shots from this. This storm is about to overtake us though. Not that Oklahoma storm, but it's pretty. It is pretty. are booked, so I booked early. Oklahoma has its best days when nobody's there. The two best storms today in North America were Saskatchewan, Canada, and Oklahoma. Unless, I don't know, maybe Del Rio's doing something. Such a broad region of severe weather. It's not really focused enough either. I haven't quite got the moisture with our storms up north yet. Like, they just don't quite, the moisture's just a little bit further east than where the storms fall apart at. So, like yesterday, the good moisture was a county east of where that storm just absolutely fell off a cliff. See how we're looking though. Very pretty. Very green now. It's really high base though, guys. I wish that Longhorn was in a better spot for me to get a photo. There's no way for me to get him in my shot really, because he's standing behind the pole. And I'm not gonna get out and go say hi to him. Hi, big man. This one's mostly for Maddie. about that, guys. Starlink rebooted for whatever reason. McMillin is throwing a fit all of a sudden. Okay, but 0.6 miles, we'll go north, head back into Montana towards Broadus. Look at that. Wyoming. It's so annoying. All right, hopefully Starlink will get its act together once we get a little further. Oh my god, it really condensed. We're just gonna park here, and then I'm gonna get some shots of these little hills and stuff. Storm. Very pretty. About what I'd hoped we'd see in terms of structure. I will be right back. Please tell me I've brought in my other camera. right, we're gonna keep going north, I guess. I think I'm gonna have to cancel my hotel here. I like how that storm that I wanted to form the entire time just formed near Buffalo. Still appears to be a left mover. Just wish that formed earlier before this outflow hit. Let's get your guys' brightness set. There we go. Very pretty storm. You guys could hear the thunder rolling. Thank you, Mundus. Thank you, Clint. Yeah, it's very pretty out here, Narcy. Yeah, there's a big whale's mouth here, Grifter. Wish we could have got on a supercell, but this is a nice consolation prize, I guess. It's still crazy to me that the two best storms in North America were probably in Saskatchewan, Canada, and Oklahoma. Those were probably the two best storms in North America today. And they're so far apart. Tornadoes were north, almost 1,000-mile difference, probably more than 1,000-mile difference between the best storms of today. Yeah, like 1,200 miles. back in so I can tell you what my thought process is right now. Let's make sure our audio is set to the correct one. It's at the back. Sorry for all the crazy wind noise. So we do have these little left-moving storms here. They're moving to the north. If they are rotating, they're rotating backwards. My current plan is to try and find somewhere to freaking sleep tonight. I think I want to get north of this storm and then look back south. But I think what I want to do is get north. So that's a question. Montana, Canada border, or Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Big Cape versus a little bit more balanced parameter space. Just worried that the Scottsbluff storms are again going to pull that thing where they don't go up far enough east and they just completely fall apart here. Kind of. Let's update our WeatherWise here. Sorry, my WeatherWise app is broken, so I can't zoom out anymore. Get to the north side of this. Man, I do like that I'm seeing some 60s dew points up in eastern Montana tonight, as well as western North Dakota. There's kind of a pool of 60s dew points. So if those 60s can hang on and we don't get too many storms out east tonight, I think Montana is going to be the play again tomorrow. Just got to find somewhere to freaking sleep because everything's booked and everything's like $300, like the most expensive I've ever seen hotels ever for just traveling. I want to keep moving north here. What time is the sunset for Broadus? Let me check. 8:52. So we have an hour till sunset. I don't know what's wrong with my phone lately, but it's just not been detecting touch inputs for whatever reason. There we go. Do love how that storm formed. We are back in Montana now. Storm formed north of Casey, right where I wanted it to when it was too late. Hopefully the storm I'm on doesn't make it too far north, because it has the potential to wreck the environment. So I'm hoping the cap chokes it out soon. King Jacula, welcome in. Tornado warning in Germany too. There's maybe one around noon today. Germany's had some good severe weather this year for people to chase. I've seen a lot of stuff out of Germany this year. So So, sorry guys, I can't zoom out of my radar because my app broke last night when I was trying to add something. So, unfortunately, I cannot run that until I get back home. Good roads up here that will take us west. Yeah, there's a road over here. I wish I could have more good storms out here. We got some pretty, like, that's one of the things with a storm like this, is it's like the storm itself is kind of average, but over the terrain's really what's making this storm seem so incredible. At least that's my take on it. Like, without the terrain, this would just be like in Oklahoma, this is exceptionally average, but in this part of the country, you just don't really see it that often. And it just feels like a whole new ball game when it comes to chasing. That shelf cloud there. See inflow streaming into it. Pretty storm here. Should have those 0Z models in, guys, so I'm gonna give that a We've got the 0Z HRRR. I want to see what it does with the moisture. The HRRR did not like that Montana target tomorrow. Wow, it really carries that moisture east. What the heck is it doing? Again with that northerly flow over Billings. Buying this, chat. Oh, it does kind of develop that plume there near Wolf Point in Glasgow. Good moisture. Lapse rates are fine. LCLs are low. Does it fire or storm that far east though? It's been the continuous problem, is these storms just have not been forming in the best area. Yeah, like the HRRR again says supercells are going to be northwest of Billings again. Getting some sprinkles out here, chat. Yeah, this, I don't know what this pattern's problem is. It's just not quite there. And then the HRRR absolutely also hates hates every target. I don't think moisture is going to be as bad as the HRRR shows, unless the storm's coming out. Yeah, like the models are already wrong. They have our storms dying on the border, so I'm a little worried. Yeah, it's going to be another play it by ear day, and I don't really know where to go. Everything is really spaced out. About the following day. At least the HRRR finally fires something in far eastern Montana on Monday. But I bet the moisture's all further east. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not great. Just struggling with dew points up here. No, that's not horrible. A horrible profile. 77 over 57 with weak low level shear. Good lapse rates on Monday. So I don't really want to go down to Scotts Bluff. If that's going to be the case. What is... Zero Z Rufus is coming in now. NAM 3K's mostly in. The NAM 3K loves everything, so. Give me that 0Z1. 19Z tomorrow. It's got 60s dews. Just gotta enjoy the storm. Oh, look, there's literally a pronghorn just walking across the street. I literally didn't even see him. I need to enjoy the storm more, but it's tough with targets a billion miles away from each other. Might just drive back to Buffalo and sleep there anyway. I have a good deal on that hotel. Most of the other hotels are $300. That one's $190. Chat, what do you think we do? Get Maddie to vibe code my app. I could do that. So what I accidentally did, see it, Claudio. What I accidentally did, Narcy, is I put, I was programming in, I was doing a bunch in JavaScript, and then I switched to do something in Python, and I messed up the syntax in Python, and it took my whole script down. Because normally I have lied like hot reloading it, but if I put the Python syntax wrong, it breaks the whole thing. So that was what the problem was. Really gorgeous out there. Yeah, this is some incredible terrain for storm chasing. Like, you don't usually get stuff like this. I just wish this, if we had a right moving supercell, today would be absolutely legendary up here, but we couldn't get the right kind of storm. Like, this is the wrong kind of storm, and it's still insanely pretty. Very ignorant how storms get this shape. Can you explain? Well, I mean, the way that storms get photogenic is ironically dry air. You need like enough moisture to get a thunderstorm, but in the mid-levels, if you get super dry air, that's how you get super sculpted storms. So usually when I'm chasing for structure, I'm looking for good moisture in the low levels and then really dry air about 2 kilometers above the ground. Sleep outdoors? I would, but there's supposed to be parades of thunderstorms tonight. See what I did there? People are reporting a tornado on Fort Morgan, and then other people are like saying there is no tornado. Can't find any recent pictures of that Fort Morgan storm. Somebody is reporting a tornado down there though, and I'm not seeing any photos of it. Only a little suspicious. Still are on that day one slight risk. The NAM 3K likes Montana, eastern Montana, quite a bit. It fires a discrete supercell near Glendive around 4 p.m. If we have any moisture even close to what the NAM 3K suggests, that would be the target. The NAM 3K also likes that target southeast of Cheyenne. I guess I'll probably do Buffalo because it lets me hit everything. It likes Scottsbluff too. It has a 70 dew point over Scottsbluff. If you get a 70 dew point over Scottsbluff, I mean, that's just nuts. I don't know that they'll get a 70 down there, but yeah, the NAM 3K really likes Montana, likes both targets, but I would take the Montana one. HRRR is a lot pickier. Rufus is just coming in, so it's really going to depend on what these storms down here do. If this storm just charges north and just scours out all the moisture, which I don't think it will, but it really could. So I'm hoping the capping inversion really comes in strong here and finishes this storm off, because it will seriously hurt tomorrow if these storms get going too much. Now, those storms in Montana have been struggling to maintain themselves, which is probably good for tomorrow. But like, I'm gonna root for what I think is best to get a tornado. It seems like we might have a right mover to the south. I think we're gonna go south, chat. We have a right moving supercell. It'll be a little after sunset by the time we get to it, but man, my maps is just horrific. My phone in general is just doing really bad. We do have a right moving supercell, it looks like, and it's on the way back to where we're sleeping tonight, so I think we'll go check that out. I don't know what to expect from it, but because this guy's weakening, it seems like, over time, thankfully. You know, it's just one of those interesting little days where it's like you don't want your storm to do too well, because it will really hurt tomorrow. And there are quite a few storms ongoing out there in western Nebraska and northern Colorado, but mostly northern Colorado at this point. So we're gonna go south and check out that storm. It's gonna be really close to sunset by the time it gets to us. It's not moving too fast. So we'll probably stay in Buffalo and then just map everything out, make sure. We'll have to get up early tomorrow, but that's fine. We're really well rested today. Buffalo. Where is Buffalo to Glendive? That's got to be about 5 hours, 4 hours? 4 hours, 20 minutes. So Glendive's not bad. We do have that other target to watch up by like Malta, probably, which is probably about 5 hours as well, 5.5 hours. And then we've got Scottsbluff. So this kind of puts us in the middle of everything, which is probably what's best for June. Yeah, so Buffalo's a great place to stay. It puts us everywhere. Sorry, June is intense. You gotta plan out your chase the night before, otherwise you're gonna miss stuff. I mean, we missed Oklahoma, but Oklahoma wasn't even really on the radar. So, got that little shelf here, chat. Sorry, I know I've been rambling this whole time about tomorrow, and we haven't really enjoyed this storm to the fullest extent. It's just, today was always, to me, the least exciting day of the three. So, yesterday was the most exciting of this 3-day stretch, but, you know, we didn't get the right kind of, like, this would be absolutely incredible if we had the right kind of storm. Instead, we have kind of an average-ish storm above incredible terrain. And I was hoping for incredible storm over incredible terrain. It's kind of funny that Oklahoma did what I thought Montana should do. Thomas Nipshield put out a funny tweet about that they flipped for today. Yeah, chat, we're gonna go south here. We'll probably be on that storm after dark, but I'll take a photogenic supercell after dark. Tornado, I'm not grateful for the beautiful chase. Yeah, I need to be more like you, Tammy. I'm just to the point where I've seen so many storms that it takes so much more to get me really excited, you know? Yeah, there's a very low chance of seeing the tornado. I have got quite a few photos today of this structure, but I think we'll go down south, try and do some nighttime stuff. Python, yeah, Python was rough. Weather track is a southwest to northeast direction. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is go south. There's a little supercell over there. I'm not expecting too much from it. Just hoping that these storms can quiet down before they mess up the environment tomorrow. If we can get 63 dew points into Montana, that is gonna be just 60 dew point co-located with a supercell would be an incredible incredible result in Montana. It's just we haven't been so lucky. So we're gonna go down south back towards Buffalo. If you guys are ever in Buffalo, by the way, I had a great steakhouse. I went to this great steakhouse for dinner there. What is it called? It's something Trail Steakhouse. I just forgot the name somehow. It's just off the interstate though, off of 25. What is it called? The Bozeman Trail Steakhouse. That place was awesome. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I'm trying to eat more local this year, so I've been trying out some stuff, but I think we're gonna go south here. Honestly though, I think this shot down the road would be about perfect. Like right up here. I'm gonna get a shot down the road looking at this storm with the mountains in the background. I think this is nice. I will be right back, guys. I'm gonna have to use my tripod. Which means it's gonna be all after dark for that storm east of the Bighorn Mountains. You guys see the lightning strike the side of the mountain? I was trying to get that shot, but man, I stopped right as it was getting close. Gotta let this car pass. Alright guys, I got the car centered on the road. The bolt is... chat, I stopped it right before that other one hit. I'm just gonna leave it rolling. I can capture lightning with it for sure though. I'm just gonna leave it rolling. I really want to get a shot because I got the camera centered on the road right now. This highway's not very busy and the speed limit's low. So I'm just keeping my eyes peeled. Give me lightning on one of those little hills there. Come on, give me one bolt. Close. Getting crazy lightning, I'm just not capturing it. I have it on video, but give me a big bolt right in front of us. It's getting quiet, which means there's about to be one. And it was off to the right. I'm gonna zoom out the shot. It was off to the right of us, chat. That's where all that lightning's been, is right over there. Just keeping an eye out for cars coming so I can get out and swipe the camera. Speed limit's pretty low here, so. Did we miss our opportunity? Come on, it keeps putting down bolts still. Just give me one right there. Anywhere along this road would be perfect. Anywhere really in front of us. Just a little more off to the, oh, that was close. Seeing a lot of like cloud to air lightning, but no bolts out ahead. See, that one just shot out to the left. All right, I think it might be a little too late. I'm gonna let it run just a little more. I keep getting cloud to air. There's a car coming. I'm hoping I caught that one earlier, guys. This family just told me that a lightning bolt almost hit me. 360 camera's dead, so I'm gonna bring that in. Gotta be careful, lightning's almost here. I got one lightning bolt, one good one, it's just on the edge of the shot. All right, 360 camera is back in the vehicle. All right, chat, I'm gonna show you guys what we got. Okay. Sure enough, right when I take the camera out or bring it inside. Could I like get this to focus correctly? The answer is we'll never know. This was a shot I got, unfortunately just a little too far to the right. Missing some detail, but it's definitely a good shot. Definitely a good shot, chat. Let's bring you guys back up so you can actually see. Bring that EV back up. I think the sun's actually setting right now. I don't know why it's telling me it's setting so much later, but so we've got some good stuff today. For what today has ended up being, we've made the most of it. Sun is definitely going to be set. Another bolt in front of us. Gosh dang it, I really want to try again. It's still dropping bolts every now and then over there. Gotta be really careful. There's another car coming up the road. Oh, I should have got that one, chat. I should have got that one. I just wish it was before the shelf got here, but that's fine. I don't know why my phone is going so slow. Scutter velocity, I haven't looked. This is not going to be a tornado producer. So this is on the north side of an outflow boundary, so I'm not expecting anything remotely to be a tornado producer, but all right, the only way that we didn't get that one bolt is if, oh wait, did I not turn? I got really scared that I didn't turn my intervalometer on, but it should be on, so we should have captured that. There are a couple cars coming up the road. I can see them. Should have got that one too, chat. There's a car coming from the other way. All right, guys. I accidentally lost the arm thing. Let's see if we got. All right, I got one of them. Okay, I got both. Where'd you guys go? What the heck? Where'd you guys fall? Where the heck did you guys go? Oh, sorry about that, chat. I just realized that you fell. Must have been when I brought that tripod in. But we did get one, maybe two good photos of the light. Why is this not closing? There we go. Bolts all around us now. Kind of want to flip because I think that's where the pretty part of the storm is going to be. Oh yeah, chat. Hold on, we're just going to stay on this. Look at that orange. I need to get somewhere with a view fast. With an overlook. I think this this is good, guys. I think we're just gonna stop here. Need to get a couple shots of that before it goes away. Close lightning too, chat. This is nerve-wracking. A quick little time lapse here. Let's make sure you guys can actually. I pulled you off the freaking thing again. 1 second. That bolt was right behind us. Wish you guys could see how much more orange it looks in person. How orange and blue it really is. It does not pick up the contrast even close. I'm looking at the camera right now. Turn off these. Yep. All right. I'm hoping this thing weakens enough. We'll get to Buffalo tonight, and that gives us literally every target tomorrow that we've looked at. Getting bolts really close. It's gonna take. I switched my thing to be more of like a time lapse, so it's gonna be really lucky for us to get any lightning on that. And most of the lightning's happening right behind us. It's shaking the car, the thunder is. Getting lightning everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna switch to more of a lightning mode. Hope I don't get sweat. Hopefully we can get a bolt out in that field in front of us. Oh my God! I just summoned a bolt! Please tell me I got that. I'm stopping the thing. I got it! Let's go! I literally said, I hope we can get a bolt in the field, and immediately one dropped there. Really suck if my camera got struck by lightning and I lost it. It's not the most vibrant bolt ever, but I did catch it. Another one in the same spot, but I think my camera missed that one. Another one. Dude, they're just dropping in this like one little area over here. I'm bending you guys quite a bit, sorry. Just messed up the mount again. Right over there. See, chat? Got 4 or 5 bolts just over there. Can it happen again? I'm not usually a big lightning guy, but I'll post it in a bit, Grifter. Did you guys see that big bolt off to the left there? It's like... We'll bring you down a little bit. Another one. We've had probably 6 bolts drop just in that little field. Hopefully my camera's catching them okay. I don't have the best lightning settings on there right now. Sorry, I got a little hyped. I don't usually get that excited when I get lightning, but lightning in mountains with a sunset storm, I'll take it. I will take it every freaking time, chat. Another one. Sorry, I gotta keep the wipers going because of the rain. Seems like it's slowing down, chat. I won't rush post Grifter. We got a lot of chasing left. I have not even looked. I haven't taken at least 7,000 photos this season, and I just pull off random ones to edit, so I haven't even really pulled the best photos yet. So I have a lot to do later on here. Another one, dude. I don't think my camera was on for that one, though. I'm gonna switch the settings a little bit to be a bit more friendly to lightning. mind, chat. Camera's getting wet, so I don't have my rain cover on right now. Let's try and hold. I did get some shots, but some of the later ones, there's some rain on the camera there. One of the most vibrant shots has rain on it. But I'm still probably gonna have to use this one. Thankfully the rain's all off on the side. Yeah, so it's got like rain on the edges of the thing. I did not have the rain cover on it. I should have thought to put it on, but yeah, I got some good stuff, chat. Yeah, this camera alone has 6,000 photos on it, so and I have barely looked at them. Haven't had time, too much chasing. Let's keep getting nice bolts in front of us. I was hoping the way the wind was blowing the rain that it would miss us, but or just not land on the camera, I guess. Keep getting strike after strike over there, guys. Where's my 360 camera at? I know I just had it. Should be in here somewhere. I may have dropped it. Oh, I found it. Put that back where it goes. Keep getting bolts over there. Let's try and pull a couple. Some small hail every now and then. Alright. Got a lot of files to download. I just pulled a couple bolts off, so I'll post some tonight. Sorry guys, I'll check chat in one moment here. I gotta let these files download off the phone. Turned really quickly from photogenic supercell threat to kind of line segment, lightning, shelf. These photos do take a minute to download. It's on 3 of 14. It's about halfway through 3 right now. I must have accidentally tapped a bunch of structure shots from earlier in the day because it's really only been pulling those. I need to get another clamp mount for my camera. Storm continues to move north. What we want though is for it to die before it hits the better moisture way up north. Another nice bolt. All right, we're getting to those orange lightning bolts. I need to get like a lightning trigger or something for daytime bolts. What I could do actually is, since it's one shot, I could layer these, and that would probably get rid of most of those rain spots. Just use like the first image, because the last ones are pretty bad, but the first couple aren't. They're halfway through 13 of 14. Then I will go back to chat. Halfway through 14, 75%, 90%, done. All right. Chat, we got some bangers. This is a really detailed lightning bolt that we got. Nope, I just got some. thing with my camera for shooting lightning is that the mirrorless just has a billion dust spots. So daytime lighting can be kind of annoying to edit. Because I just gotta remove a million spots from the photos, which is what I'm doing right now. I lied about checking chat immediately. This is an unreal amount of dust. Chat, there's a billion dust spots on this. Every time I'm like, all right, I'm good, I zoom out and there's like 40 more. Oh man, that was a close one. Is that Daniel Shaw? This one was the harder one to edit because of all the rain. I'm gonna do that other quick. All right, chat. How are you doing? Sorry, guys. I know I was editing that photo for a bit. But I think we're probably about to call it here. Coloring apps on my phone. See ya, Tammy. Thank you for joining. Hello, Nate. %3 more lightning on the back side of the storm. Yeah, there's quite a bit more back here. But I think we're going to go ahead and call it, chat. Had an interesting chase. All right. Is it Bluetooth to the car? I think it is. All right, chat. I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. We're going to head to our hotel in Buffalo, and then we're going to decide where we're going tomorrow morning. Let me flip.
Not bad. All right. Well, we got a fun little chase today, guys. Didn't turn out exactly what I hoped for, but, you know, it was good enough, so. I think we're going to go ahead and call this here. I'm going to head out to my... Here we are, chip monkey here. That happened again last time, and I think it's just caused from me switching the input device, or the input direction of the camera. So we're trying this. See if this works. Hopefully no chip monkey. But I'm going to check before we get to that. Something went wrong. But, alright, guys.
Yeah, I know. It happens every time the camera turns around, but I don't know why. Something with the audio for sure. Switch to front. I wonder why it's doing that. Let's see. Let's test this time. All right, so we've got the lighting that makes me look like I'm balding, which is perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We're gonna have a long thought about, I don't know, like a long I don't know, discussion about where we're gonna go tomorrow. I think it's a very complicated day tomorrow. It all really is gonna depend on how moisture shakes out. I really like what the NAM 3K and what Rufus and the regular NAM are showing. The HRRR is kind of trashy, but it always is. So we've got a couple of targets. We've got kind of the Malta, Montana area. Then we've got like maybe more Glendive, Montana, and then we've got Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It's really gonna depend on where the moisture sets up. Like if you get a 70 dew point in Scottsbluff, you're probably gonna get a tornado. If you get a 63 dew point in Glendive and a supercell there, you're probably gonna get a tornado. So, you know, we're just gonna have to figure things out tomorrow morning. I picked Buffalo earlier, and that ended up being a good call because we're kind of 5 hours from everything. So, you know, we're close to everything, just enough to make it, but we don't have a ton of wiggle room tomorrow or tonight even. So I got to get there and get some sleep. Probably gonna have to wake up probably about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock to get out there. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully it's not chipmunked right now. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. It's only started doing it since I tried to up the quality of the recording, so I don't know. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon at some point from either Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, or Nebraska, maybe even Colorado. So I will see you guys then. Thank you so much. I have really scuffed this outro, but that's fine. See ya. Make sure we're all closed down here.